good morning. Welcome to Niner Tech Talks. My name is Sindhu.
My name is Lori.
My name is Atqiya.
And my name is Akhi.
So today we're looking at AI and its impacts on productivity. So in the present day, AI isn't just automating a lot of the repetitive tasks. It's reshaping the way that we think, create, and collaborate with others. So looking at how it's been impacting a lot of the things in the workplace, do you think AI is making us more productive, or is it just changing the definition of what good work is? So Akhi, could you share a little bit about why we even have to have this conversation in the history of AI?
Yeah, definitely. So it wasn't always like this in the early 2010s. AI wasn't being used at all in the workplace, and more so, people were doing the work themselves. It was really about 2015 to 2019 where there were large language models coming into the workplace and just generating text based off of patterns in the workplace, just doing basic things like IT troubleshooting and debugging for people who are programming or coding, or just like generating Excel files for people who are like accounting or things like that. But it was really when the pandemic hit that we saw the huge shift in AI happen, where the use, just rise dramatically. And that was when everyone was starting to use these large language models instead of just using it for small tasks like debugging and coding. It was used to automate coding and used to automate the tasks. Used to send emails just by generating a prompt. It was used to generate text based off of patterns now, instead of just spotting patterns for people to do their work off of. Mm-hmm. And this is what generative AI coming into play does. These things like ChatGPT and Google AI, Gemini, and then Microsoft Copilot, all of these are so prevalent in the workplace. And even companies have their own AI models today. And it is instead of just spotting the patterns, mm-hmm. it is using those patterns to detect mm-hmm. what it needs to do, and then it is generating what the employee should be doing on their own. Mm-hmm. And the impact, it could be basically like, think of an intern, an overeager intern can make a lot of mistakes if they do a lot of work on their own. But if they're doing work with the other people above them, then they're doing work more better because they can detect their mistakes and see what they're doing wrong instead of just generating all on their own. The impact of this is pretty, you can have a lot of advantages or disadvantages. Mm-hmm. I'll pass that to Kia. What are those advantages and disadvantages we see in the workplace now?
Generative AI in the workplace has both advantages and disadvantages. Advantages can include the automation of many tasks, thereby increasing the efficiency of getting tasks done. I know of many employees in places like Bank of America where they would initially, before AI, in the workplace, they would take weeks and months to complete a project, but now it takes much less time compared to before. So that's one advantage. It does make up for employees that are less experienced. It is also a great learning tool, allowing them to kind of get used to the project that they might be working on, and such as the coding stuff. But it also has disadvantages because, as you know, generative AI is not accurate, because there might be problem with accuracy, there might be problems with bias and whatever it generates, and then it can also cause ethical risk, such as data privacy. It could leak your information that you're using to train it, because a lot of times it's using the information that you give it to train itself to kind of get better, correct? Yes, and then this also raises the concern that, I'm going to come at it from a perspective of future generation. Mm-hmm. So currently in America, there is a decline in literacy rates of children in grade levels K through 12, where teachers across the nation are saying that the literacy proficiency of these children in these grade levels are not at their grade level, so they're much lower. And that can also affect their usage of literary tools. Mm-hmm. They can also, a lot of times, children do use generative AI to complete their assignments. So my question to Lori would be, how do you think that would affect the future generations of children, or future generation of employees that will be coming in to the workplace, and then what regulation should be set in place to kind of combat that?
Right, exactly. So just like you said, it is affecting the K through 12 school grades, but it's also affecting college students as well. So as these students that are in high school right now are moving into college, they're continuously using generative AI to do their assignments or help them with their assignments, and they're kind of losing the ability to critically think and their literacy. And so as they move into the workforce from college, they're relying on AI to do their work for them and not really understanding what they're doing, especially in computer science, where we have to learn many different coding languages and learn how to flow between them, and also just learn how to use them properly within our fields. If we're using generative AI to produce the code that we're using, we're not really understanding how certain functions work or how they connect to certain methods and classes as well. So it's just a big issue, especially in our field, where we're just relying on something that was developed by computer science to do computer science instead of relying on our own selves to do it, our own literacy, and we're losing that ability over time. A big thing regarding it is jobs, and like people are concerned that it's going to like take over jobs, but in reality we just need to train ourselves to use AI properly and to use it more as a tool instead of just like a quick way out to do our work. So that's like a big thing when we go into train for these new jobs that are coming up in this new generation. We really have to teach them how to use it properly, use it as a tool to help enhance their literacy within coding and within computer science, instead of generating it so they're only using it to have a quick way out to finish their work. I think that overall covers our topic on generative AI and how it's affecting the workplace. Thank you guys so much.